Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So for today's reading, I don't have any insights, but when I went over to the card area, I heard, well, first I was drawn to this one, the animals, and then I saw this one, and then I heard all the animals. So we got 3 decks of animals. And so when I opened it on one of them, this like High Priestess card just went flying out. And so let's just read it and then we'll shake it up and see what else wants to come through. Oh, and I felt called to read what was on the box somewhere. What did it say? On the inside. May you find wisdom, comfort, and joy on your journey with your animal guides. So you know what? Actually, I did have a little bit of insights. I was feeling weird. I was feeling something in like the stomach, like nervousness maybe, not quite knowing what to do, especially with like the High Priestess is like psychic ability, like seeing through the dark, knowing what you want, knowing what to do. As it said, oh, I didn't read it. It says, this is a time to pause and reflect, not to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. So there's something, I think it's that, do I do this? Do I don't do this? Do I do, and it's like, do I? That's what I keep hearing. And so let's put that card back in. If it wants to come out again, then it will be like double confirmation, super duper confirmation. But yeah, we'll just shake it up, see what's up with all the animals. Animals, what do you want to share? What's going down? So Page of Air came flying out. It says logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. I'm banking. I guess you can't see what I see yet. But there is on the back of these ones, the owl, that High Priestess, but there's that blue butterfly. And when I looked over here, so there is the moon and it was the blue butterfly. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe there's a bit of blueness. It could be throat chakra. It could be a sadness. It could be something. Let me just, before we do it, I don't know what to do. Just shuffle them all and then tell you all at once. There's lots of animals that are going to come through. Someone feels like a jackass. There's a donkey and a camel. Something like being used and it makes you feel sad. And the moon is saying that it's just an illusion. You're not being used. There's a giraffe here telling you to look for a higher cup. Look to the higher picture, right? Raise above this, right? Because as the High Priestess card said, this is a time of inaction. So if you were to take action while you're in the blues, then, I don't know, you might overreact in something that you don't quite mean or feel. And so once you kind of like ground yourself, you're right, raise it up a bit, then you're in a different frequency, a new story, a new chapter. And then we get the 9 of Summer, which is like 9 of Cups. So don't worry, you'll see them all eventually. Okay, so you. Hey, do you know what when I was saying that? Do you know who I kept seeing? On Eat, Pray, Love, Katut. I don't know, like that like shaman medicine man. So she goes to him and he's like, you know what? You're gonna come back one day and I'm going to teach you, or you're gonna help me and teach me English. And she's like, yeah, like probably like not believing it at the time. So she goes on this like big identity kind of crisis thing. And then she does the eating in Italy, the praying in India. And then at the end, she goes to Bali. And in Bali is where she learns to love again. And so he goes back to her and she just thinks that he's gonna like embrace her with like open arms. And when she gets there, he doesn't even remember who she is. And then eventually it what am I trying to say? Eventually he does remember, and that's what I heard. He's like, you. That's what I'm seeing. So I feel like that there's this like, this Spirit showed me. Someone be like, here I am. And then the person not remembering, right? And so maybe it's like a past life connection or a soul connection or a something connection. And we all have these different lessons that we're going through. And based on your journey is where your consciousness is. So if you're somewhere, maybe you're with someone else and it's a disconnect. And when the time's right, when everything, I don't know, it's just like staying and maintaining your energy and not letting others' perception affect you. But yet you're still supposed to work with others. And I do feel like one thought got like messed up in that, but you know what? I still haven't got to show you the cards, and that's what I feel like I really want to do. And so let's start. First one that came out was the Page of Air with the seagull. So it went like this. So seagull says logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. So air is all mental, it's swords. And the page is kind of starting its journey. This says, this is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful, information is put to you bluntly. Accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. That's really funny because I said a very blunt message to one of my friends, and they were like, you know what? Every single person reached out to me and they were all like in the hearts and like kind, compassionate. And I was like, yo, like cut the shit, do this. and he's like, yeah, it was like tough love. And I was like, you know what? Eat, pray, love. Something about love. I told them, I was like, you know, I'm actually not a cold person, but this is my logic and reasoning as to why I can't be that person for you. And so it's like, I do care, but for me, I needed to like distance myself and just still kind of show that I care. But I'm a blunt person sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, and you know how much air I got in my chart. So I gave a blunt message to someone today, but then I turned around and I was like, actually, like what I said was because I actually care. I care too much about this situation. I wouldn't cry if I didn't care, you know what I mean? So what's the next one to come out? Wait, let me get a channeling from this. Curious. Curious is coming, and undiplomatic. It's like a sense of wonder. It's a challenge, but it's like when you're faced with a challenge, like this challenge comes to you, how do you react? It says here, the ability to think of a matching solution. Again, if you're in the blues, you're in that blue energy, you're feeling sad about yourself. I don't want to talk about this situation too much, but that just kind of came up because I did give like a tough love message. But you know what? They persevered through, and then there was like real open communication after that never was said. So I don't regret anything. But that's what I'm kind of seeing, is being curious and matching a solution. So this is where you are. It's not where you're going to stay. It's not your forever. Because in the tarot, there's the wheel. And the wheel says that no matter what happens, the wheel is always turning. So whatever good time you're having won't last forever. And all the negative bad times, they're not going to last forever. The main thing is how you roll with it, right? To flow through it. It's how can you take this energy and utilize it in the now. Based on whatever phase you're in, you can work through this. You can navigate it. And you can, I'm almost seeing like they're showing me different wheels, right? There's, what's that? The circly thing where the Ferris wheel, right? That's pretty peaceful and slow. And then they showed me a merry-go-round. You know how many people get hurt on merry-go-rounds? I got hurt on a merry-go-round. We were camping one time and there's all these older kids. And I always hung out with older kids because I've never hung out with people my own age. And they were like, faster, faster. And my dad's just like, and I don't remember my dad ever like really playing with us much, but he was there that time. And they were like, go faster, faster. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like holding on for dear life. And all of a sudden I just like, my legs flew out and like, I was like holding on and I freaking went flying. And that's what I'm seeing. It's like, which part of the wheel are you going to navigate? And it's kind of like the speed. You can navigate the speed and temper it. The temperance card is coming up. It's not on any of these cards, but that's what I'm feeling. So the next one to come out was in reverse. It's the Six of Fire. Rescue dog with the mixed breed. That looks like a little Cooper. He's my little pug chihuahua who only half chose the pug life. And so it says Six of Fire is like Six of Wands, which is like usually coming in for a victory, right? They're usually on their horse with their victory banner, whatever. This is in reverse. It says, you may receive a promotion, be chosen for a scholarship, or find that you've been singled out for special recognition. You've done an amazing job and you deserve all the attention. So maybe in this, it feels like things just aren't going your way. Right? Again, we're going back to that wheel, not being recognized, not getting picked, not something. It's just missing out on an opportunity. But the next one to come out is the Lynx with the moon. And so the Lynx is talking to me about Akashic Records. And so Akashic Records, if you don't know what that is, it's almost like your book of life. It's like your soul has had incarnation, if you believe, whatever you believe. But this is what story I'm going to share. Incarnation after incarnation. You've been many people. And so you've been all aspects of life. And so you can go back to these things and you can like pull these lessons. But what I'm seeing here is you have your book. And before you came, you're like, these are the lessons that I want to learn. These are the things that, and I keep hearing eat, pray, love. So this seems to be someone who they're showing me eat as in safety, food, and survival. The eat, pray has to do with like a spiritual connection, thoughts and beliefs. And then love is just like, how are you of service to the world? How do you show up authentically and share your gift, your heart, your love? And in this book, you have a purpose. You came here for a reason and you woke up today for a reason. If there was no reason for you, you wouldn't be here. So the fact that you're here, especially if you're in blue energy, it's not going to last forever. But here's what I'm seeing now. I'm seeing that sadness. Remember I said it was either a feeling, an emotion, or a throat chakra thing. Just be authentic and say whatever it is that you want. You feel like you missed out on something in this rescue dog breed thing, but the Lynx is saying, we're going to the Akashic books. And it was like, that wasn't your story. That wheel was meant to close. That's a karmic chapter, a karmic cycle. But you have a purpose. You have a divine purpose to be here. And yeah, all the rest of it will play out. Everything will work out the way it's meant to. So this one says the Lynx. I don't know, I just see lynxes always as, when I connect to the lynx, I could do like Akashic Records for some reason. I love the lynx energy. But it says, it's important to trust your intuition. Even if you're unsure of what's happening, all will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. So now they're kind of showing that sadness or the blues to worry. And when I think of worry, what am I seeing? I'm not seeing a color. I'm seeing void of color. I'm seeing pale. And when I said pale, I heard pale ale, like beer. That's kind of the color I see. It's like this yellowy blah. It's almost, yeah. What about that? I just feel like worry is just unnecessary. There's so much color in life, and to live like a muted, that's what worry does. It steals you from the joy of the moment. It makes you regret things that you've done. It's focused on the lack, all those things. It almost keeps like the wheel spinning, right? And taking that stick and putting it in. And then being like, we have to stop here. But this is not your stop. This is not your bus stop to get off at. As the Akashic Records say, we're going to turn the page. And what's the next chapter? What's the next story? Eat, pray, love. There's all these different things. And maybe you want to jump to the love or the something, but I'm getting nurturing yourself. I don't know, that whole movie is about like just finding your soul, finding your love, finding your joy. Not doing what you think you have to do, but what you actually genuinely want to go do. Having fun. So the next one to come out was camel in reverse. We got the donkey and the giraffe. So the camel's in reverse. It says, be forbearing and patient. This is in the past energy. So it's not really patient. It's trying to like jump. It's like making things happen. Kickstart. And then I noticed that these two are still kind of the same color. The donkey says, keep your heart open no matter what. Some things are pretty intense, but you have to learn the lesson from the intenseness, the intensity, so that you don't have to keep living that intensity over and over and over. That's what I see. I'm like, you woke up today for a purpose, for a reason. But if you're like avoiding that, it's almost like Groundhog Day. Why is there no groundhogs here? But yeah, there's the giraffe. And so these ones are both kind of the same, saying keep your heart open and energy. And then this one's just a little bit different, just a smidge, right? And the pink, as it said, keep your heart open. That's what I saw. Like somebody, I don't know, I saw someone just like treating this donkey like, I don't know, like again, like feeling like a jackass. Maybe you did something you regretted. I'm seeing the camel in the desert. You know how they go on like long journeys and like, I don't know, I almost see like going on this long journey in the desert, getting burned, not having enough resources, thinking that you could have made it, but only making it halfway. And then in it being like, okay, well, I guess this is where the wheel stops, right? So this is now where we can get off on the bus. And then I'm seeing like the donkey, I see like a hidden oasis. But you can only know that it's a hidden oasis if you are able to look at a higher perspective. Aspire to higher knowledge and wisdom. Everything is teaching you something in this. Everything will teach you in the moment. And so, is there any more? It's all the stars. There's a guiding star. There's this light. And look, they're both. There's one there. There's one there. On this card, it's just extremely subtle. But these ones are very blue. And which deck is this? The purpley ones. Not everything has that. Freaking bats. The deer does. And like to me, whenever I see deer, I know like change is going to happen. I keep seeing deer last week. I know change is happening. That's why you just gotta let go and go with the flow. There's growth all the time happening. But you know what I think is always important? It's just to have that spiritual, I'm not saying be like, you know, like some people take things like a little strict, like religious, like hardcore. I feel like it has to be that balance. But when I keep looking at this, the star that I keep seeing is Sirius. A or B, I can't remember which one. But it kind of glows blue in our night sky. And so it's time to be serious and to face these things. Be serious. So there is a bee card. There's a lot of busy bees. So the next row of cards is the Pomeranian with the 9 of Summer, which is 9 of Cups. And look, he's got like a little genie thing here. Then we got 8 of Wands, which is like quick movement. And then we have in reverse, 5 of Summer, which is like 5 of Cups and heartbreak. So it's in reverse. You're going to get yourself out of this. It just, it's funny because normally I start at the top and then I work my way like left to right, top to bottom. But in this, I started in the middle, then I went down. So it's almost like you're in this level playing field and then something rocks you and you have to pick yourself up. And that's the hardest part. That's the spiritual lesson. That's what I was like, something about spirituality, and then I kind of trail off. And that's what it seems to be. It's like you keep doing something and then something will hit you and like knock you off your square, your peg, or whatever. But that's a game. And so I've been thinking, this popped up today. So when I went to Peru, there was these two ladies from Germany. They were so freaking cool. I loved meeting them. Like I think of them so much. Like one of them was like an Olympic athlete, and now she's like a coach for the Olympics. Like she's always at the Olympics. And then the other one, yeah, whatever. I think of them all the time because they touched my soul in such a way. But I remember we were coming back from Machu Picchu or Cusco, and we're on a train and we're playing this game, and I don't remember what the game was, but I remember them being like, those who are good at games are unlucky in love. And I kept losing and I really wanted to win. And that's when they were like, those who are good at games are unlucky in love. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's a positive way to look at this. But man, I didn't understand the rules and I sucked at that game. But just to play the game and have fun is the whole purpose of it all. Okay, so I'm kind of stuck on like YouTube right now, where I love watching like family challenges or games and things like that. I just think it's so wholesome. Like whenever there's so much going on in life, like I'd rather just watch like, I don't know, it's just so funny. There's this one couple and it's like that Crack the Code game. I love that one. They're so cute. But and another one, there's like this family, and whenever someone doesn't win, right, it's to watch someone else not be a good sport, like throw a hissy fit because they got something wrong, like it's not fair. You can watch them and be like, oh, like that's not a good look. And so you can't really see yourself when you're in that energy, but that's kind of like the energy that's coming through right now. So it started off level playing field. It said you have a purpose here. Something stopped. You got your book, and your book says you still have a reason to be here. Maybe you're blue now, but there's this star calling you. There's this higher purpose, this higher spiritual calling that tells you to look above things. These ones are kind of blue. I'm seeing serious, but then over here, how did I was like, there's like this red one, and then the whole sun was just like, whoa. And I was like, how did you miss the sun, right? The sun gives us energy and strength, right? Think of plants growing, they need the light. Raising higher, adding more light into you. What am I seeing as light? I'm saying go outside, get a walk, get some fresh air if you've been cooped up inside all the time. But when I think of light, I think of those lighter thoughts, those moments of hope. Oh, that's it, hope. When you wish upon a star. And that's what I'm seeing, is that there's so many guides here to connect with. There's those who are energetic on the other side, but there's a lot of guides here on our earthly existence, right? Our animals, the birds in the sky, like the perfect thing at the perfect moment. Plants, don't forget those. They're alive, you're alive, we're all alive. The whole earth, everything is electric. And so learning to co-create, what am I hearing? Symbiotically in this ecosystem. You have a purpose. And once you reach that rock bottom, then you can go to the higher, right? So I read it as you have to go like Dante's Inferno. I started reading that at March break. I only got to, I'm almost like out of the pits of hell, but I kind of stopped and got sidetracked. So I've been kind of like stuck there in my like insights and ruminating. But what comes next? I feel like saying percido, but I don't think that's the Latin word. I don't know. It's pretty much like purgatory and then the next, right? And so there's these different layers and levels and things like that. And I actually find I'm gonna get sidetracked back into that book. Some of those references, I feel like back then maybe were very political and had things, but I read it today and I'm like, wow, they really judge people really harshly in this. And so that's what I'm seeing, someone calling themselves a jackass or something. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't put these labels, right? It's time to rise up out of whatever this pit of hell is for you, right? These are all kind of like desert, hot kind of energies. It's time to bring in that cooling, that hope. It's that hope. Hope is the thing. So, I notice I say, like, when I talk to people, I'm usually like, I hope you this, I hope you that. And I was like, man, is that all I ever say? Like, can I not form another sentence? But I am a very hopeful person. I do think that not everybody can change, but I have hope that people could learn from their mistakes and want to do better, and will eventually learn their lessons and kind of embrace the eat, pray, love, following your journey to your authentic soul path. Yeah. Anyways, let's go up to the higher level. Let's get to the highest rung. We got Nana Summer. Want to see a picture? Oh, isn't he so cute? I'm actually a cat person, but I'm an everything person. But I love my panthers. Anyways, Pomeranian dog. It says, now is the time when your dreams come true. What? It's hard to believe that when you're at the bottom of the bottom. When you didn't get picked for something as this rescue dog. But guess what? Cooper, Cooper, I love him so much. He's a lot of work, but he's my rescue dog. And by the time I got him, he was 2. And by the time he was 2, I was his 3rd owner. Everyone just kept giving him back. That's kind of sad. I feel like crying about that. But he came with really bad habits, and not everyone could deal with those things. And you know what? Sometimes there's unfortunate circumstances. Like his first owner, I believe there may have been a death in the family. I think that's what happened, and they were too depressed that they couldn't care for him. That sucks. That's sad. And then the second people, their house flooded, and so they couldn't care for him because they didn't have their basic survival or safety. And in these 2 years, right, that's when he had the most crucial like learning lessons. So he has a lot of anxiety and worry and those kind of things. But instead, since they didn't have their safety in place, their home, they shipped him out to someone new all the time. And I think he got abused. And he had his toe broken off. And he's extremely scared of men, especially. But when you have something that's so fearful, you're going to act in fear, right? No, when you're scared, you're going to act in fear. That's it. And you know what? I had a teacher say that. They're like, because someone was losing control, and they're like, you know, he's not angry, he's just scared. And that's what most people who pop off are. There's a fear in that of being scared of something. So lean into that sword. What is it that you're scared of? Anyways, once you do that, genie in a bottle moment. And like, look, okay, also, okay, I said he's a pug chihuahua, but that's a lie. He's 4 breeds in one. He is my little mixed breed of this, but he's a chihuahua, he's a pug, a chihuahua, Pomeranian, and I want to say Jack Russell Terrier. It's like these 4 breeds that are just bred to have anxiety and be so much. But look at this little guy. Maybe he had a tough start, but now that we're looking at all these things, he's got all these toys and he's got treats and he's got all this love. And it says, now is the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God and for all that you have and all that is still yet to come. Because again, on that wheel, you could be scared, as this one said. It's these 2 cards go together. Let's read it again. You remember, this is in reverse, so opposite of this. You may receive a promotion, be chosen for a scholarship, or find that you're singled out for special recognition. So being missed on everything. No one's seeing your spark, no one's seeing your light. And I'm seeing that spark as that one. And just thinking like, I'll never get picked. Especially Cooper. The second time it happened again, You probably didn't have the biggest hopes. You know what? He doesn't care about people. We go to the dog park and they're like, oh my God, your dog is so cute. Because he is really cute. He looks like a little Rottweiler with all those breeds. He looks like a little Rottweiler. And he'll forever be that cute and like a tiny little baby Rottweiler with an old man personality. But people just want to touch him and he's just like, I don't care about you. Like, people didn't care about me, but now they do. And so it's been a lot of work. If I have wrinkles, it's probably because of him. But again, it's been a lot of work. I had a lot of people tell me that nobody else would have been, of course someone else could have, but I heard a lot in the really bad phases, like no one else would have had the patience that I had. And there are people who have, that can hold space for you. Just be your authentic self. How are you feeling? Be yourself. But you know what? You can't stay there, right? Remember that stick? Oh shoot, we forgot to take the stick back out, girl. And like, you know how I was talking about that merry-go-round when I went flying because my dad was trying to impress the older kids? That one needed to be slowed down. And then like the other ones need to speed up. So it's like, find your flow. Be yourself, find your flow. Because there's still more to come. And so from this lack, this whatever, stepping into the giraffe energy, now we come into higher consciousness. That higher consciousness is now when all the action, all the things that you tried so hard to do happen. So we have to be. And it says, you've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. Like what? On this one, I got missed out on receiving a promotion. I didn't get the scholarship. I wasn't singled out for public recognition. They told me I wasn't doing a good job. And then all of a sudden, all these things coming back at once. Because it's like you need to be an energetic match to bring that in. It's there. It's yours. It's in your book. You're supposed to have that. This is the life that you came to learn these soul lessons, and the universe wants you to be abundant to learn it. You're not meant to be here just to learn tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. That's not your story. Your story is to pick yourself back up and then build on that foundation that crumbled, build it stronger, and then thrive. There's a thriving moment to come. Thrive, hive, that's what I'm hearing. And let's read it one more time because it's going to all come at once. It's going to actually be too much. You're gonna be like, man, I gotta put that stick in and I gotta slow it. I feel like someone's gonna want to self-sabotage, but go with the flow. Again, one more time. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sent you. Now I feel called to read this again. Aspire to higher knowledge. There was one that talked about... Don't see it. Not meant to be. Just a higher consciousness. And so the last one, 5 of Summer, was in reverse. It says, focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move onward and upward. So this card would have been great at the rock bottom, right? But if you just didn't, okay, so this is usually, ringing's coming in. I saw 007 and then I heard Bond, James Bond. I don't know what that's a reference to. I'm maybe like an agent, a secret agent. What? Pull one about that. 5 of Winter. It's like, you're like this, like, 5 of Winter is like conflict. See, there's those dogs again. There's something to do with dogs. Dogs are special in this reading. Yeah. Anyways, it says, your current path isn't leading you towards the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to hidden agendas of others. Remember, you can't live the life that other people are telling you to live. But when I saw that agent, it's almost like the Akashic Book of Records. You have all these skills and things that you can like pull on at any time. You might think that you might not have the knowledge and insights and wisdom, but you do. You're very talented. And at the rock bottom, maybe you just wanted to instantly bypass all these things, but this rock bottom almost reawaken these things in you. Talents come to you so naturally. All of a sudden you have this insight or this pull to something, and it's like, follow that. That's your thing. And so at the top, it's so funny because at the bottom, even when you don't have hope, right? When you're self-sabotaging, if something just came along and was like, here's the answer, and you like go to there, the biggest thing on this whole eat, pray, love type journey is even when you don't think that there is hope, even when there's nothing is giving you that spark, that inspiration, right? Let's say this is the bluest of blues, to bring that spark of hope within you. That's your heart flame. That's your soul. That's something that once you ignite that, that's going to sustain you for the rest of your life. That is going to build your connection to source, to your, right? Because once you empower yourself to pick yourself up and get out of there, nothing outside of you did it. You empowered yourself. And it's a thought, it's a feeling, it's a process. And it's not something physical outside of you, but eventually it will be. And so that's why it's at the end. It's so funny, as this said, it's like, focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest intentions for you, obviously. But it says a positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move onward and upward. This is almost like you'll always have this to reflect back on. Don't try to rush this process. Embrace this moment, because when you are up and out of it and you look back at it and you see how far you got yourself, you're going to be so proud of yourself. You're going to believe in yourself so much more than you ever gave yourself credit. And with that, you realized how you work in your connection with source and everything, that you know how to speak and see the signs and synchronicities. And yeah, the highest of high is not going to last, right? We're going to keep flowing. But the more and more we've learned how to put hope into our heart and not diminish and put the water out, because that's what cups is. 5 of summer, right? It's raining. It's trying to put that out, but you can't. It's a flame inside you that will live forever. And with that, that's what's going to bring the victory. This little rescue dog, as I said, rescue dog, mixed breed. I'm hearing like a mixed bag of nuts or something. Like maybe people will be like, oh, you're nuts for believing in all these things and stuff, but are you nuts for believing in yourself? I will say no. Always love yourself, right? Don't say mean things to yourself. Oh, I'm a jackass. No. You said something, you did something happened. Maybe things could have, right? If you're in that blue energy, maybe it's going to be harder, but it's not a forever thing. And I hope that everybody, no matter what the circumstance and things that have happened, that they always have the ability to choose light, to choose love, and to do better. I don't think that people can stay in that rut, in that negativity, and that awful attack energy. This one, the 5 of winter. It's a me against you type energy. I think that there could be a we. I'm going to read this one more time and then wrap it up, because you know what? This is actually a long one, and I really thought that this was going to be quick. I thought it was getting quicker these days. It says your current path isn't leading you towards the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion. You need to keep that heart open. Don't you dare close your heart. Even if it's sad, that's a better feeling than nothing. Because if it's sad, it's still working, it's still beating. You still have a reason to learn. But if you numb your heart, do you know how hard it is to get that spark? And that spark is hope. Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to hidden agendas of others. Because you gotta do you. Anything else? They told me to go to the B, because the B was quick movement. So what about this quick movement? If you haven't done the work, all of a sudden these things are gonna come to you, and you're not gonna think that you're worthy enough of accepting it. It says something about the marigolds too. What about the marigolds? What am I saying? Anyways, I heard Fruit Loops. I just follow my nose because like marigolds smell. That's what I saw. But then I was drawn into the moon here. I don't know if you could see it. It's such a smidge. And then over here was that full moon. What about it? I'm seeing the moon as, okay, the links was the Akashic Records. And then the moon goes through phases. And you're going to go through phases. And sometimes you're going to feel very whole. And then sometimes you're going to feel like nothing. And sometimes you're going to feel like you're losing yourself. And sometimes you're going to feel like you're growing and expansive. And the thing is, it's the same with the book, the Akashic Records. Sometimes it's a full book. Sometimes it's a long-ass chapter. But you just keep turning the page. And eventually you just go through each phase, each cycle. And any story that's just like, I woke up and I got everything I wanted, life is great, that's an awful story. Nobody wants that story. You need characters and you need challenges and you need character development. And you need stuff to happen in order for it to be exciting, and then it needs to kind of temper out. But that's what I'm seeing, is there's this being stuck in the, I'm seeing this almost as like a shaman. There's like this world, the underworld, and then the upper world. So I see someone being stuck in this world and the lower world, Dante's Inferno, right? They have good moments and they have pits of hell. Good moment, pits of hell, but they're not experiencing the up here. Because it's like when they're down here, it's like they're punishing themselves for something, and then when they get back, they're numb. We gotta work through this process. You'll get through it. You will. And it's almost like looking at yourself, not judging yourself, not calling yourself an ass, and why is a good question, but don't get stuck on it. And then remember to do this one. Aspire to higher knowledge and wisdom. What can you learn from this? If you're not learning, you're not getting the point. And the point is, they tell me it's this one. The point is, now is the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how. Because I wanted to say why, and I wanted to say, I think how would be more important to ask. How can I get myself out of this? But this says, don't ask the how. So I'm glad I didn't say that, because they kind of stopped me. Because I was like, sometimes you get stuck on why. But I feel like that's a good place to start. Don't worry about the how. You're going to get there. As long as you start asking and reflecting and not judging and knowing that you have a purpose. I feel like that's a big thing here. Someone just wakes up, they're very numb every day, and they're just kind of like being like a workhorse, but I see the camel and the donkey. Like all these things are used just to like carry loads and brunt of force that isn't theirs to really take on, but they keep being put on. Read this and then we'll wrap it up. Now is the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that is still yet to come. So when this I keep talking. When this happens, as this one said, it's going to be so fast, so many wonderful opportunities at once. It's almost going to be like too much. And then there's even more after that. But like, I see this whoosh coming, and then you're going to have to integrate a bit. Right? You get yourself out of that funk, and then all these good things happen. It's like, don't get caught up in that. I need to maintain that positivity, that, what am I trying, keeping up with the Joneses type energy. It's saying, just be grateful for everything that you have. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And then guess what? You're going to integrate these energies, ground these energies, and then that higher level is now your medium. And then it's almost like what you're medium or level right now is almost going to be your lower levels one day. You're like, how did I slip back into that pattern? I see this layer by layer just going away. Like, lesson learned, this layer's gone. You're no longer a workhorse. Now what would be your struggle? Your struggle would be accepting your purpose and knowing that you deserve these promotions, speaking up for yourself. There's that throat chakra, right? Learning that maybe something blunt might happen, might be said, but it's not a character assassination on you. It's just like, oh, that's that person's energy, right? I had to explain to my friend why I was, because my one friend's like, yeah, they said you were pretty mean. And I was like, oh man, I actually said it with a lot of care, but I didn't come off with care. And I had to explain. But I felt like that conversation went really well. And then that's going to be your new lower level. And then there's new ones to come out on top. But that's for a different reading. So I hope you have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.